Hey, what's going on? Welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent black people. Today, I want to talk about police shootings. You have the shootings with my brother George Floyd, Dante Wright, and some of these other incidents that are occurring across the country. And I want to give you some insights into this, and I want to explain to you why the media loves police shootings, why the media is ecstatic when somebody gets shot and there's going to be endless news coverage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on CNN. Why this is something that will never stop, why this is something that they damn near celebrate. And I'm going to give you a perspective that you're not going to hear in media because media doesn't want you to know these things. So let's get it cracking. Canadian Brother says, let's get the show on the road. I will get the show on the road. So buckle up your seatbelt, hit the thumbs up button. We're going to get started on drboystv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, black people? Welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent black people. This is a space where black people come first, and if you're not black or don't want to be intelligent, then you should probably kindly get the fuck out. This is not the platform for you. This is a space for people who either are intelligent or want to be smarter. It's also a space where we ask critical questions and we try our best to move forward. We believe in real progress, not imaginary progress. We are not big on integration, although we don't have a problem with it. We're not big on some of the stuff that you are taught to believe in school about what represents black progress. Being closer to white people does not make you a better black person. Being in a white neighborhood does not make you somehow better than what you used to be. Being accepted by your oppressor is not our gold standard for black success. We're here to break the mold, reinvent the model. That's what we do on this platform. So if you're in with that ideology, then put a hashtag B1 in the chat. Hashtag B and the number 1 means we put our community first. B1 means that we solve our own problems. B1 means that we know that we are the original man and the greatest people on the planet. We can do anything we put our minds to. With that said, let's talk about police shootings. I want to break this down. This was on my mind. Why is it on my mind? Well, because I was in Atlanta and I saw a little thing about the shooting of Dante Wright. Now, I'm not here to talk about the specifics of Dante Wright's situation, whether the cop should have killed him, whether or not. I know that's being debated online. I'm not here to talk about the whole situation with the little girl who got shot while she was stabbing another girl. That's debatable. I hear both sides, right? I hear people say, oh, the cop shouldn't have shot her. Then I hear people saying, like, why was she stabbing somebody? Why were adults standing around while one kid is stabbing another? I got daughters. We got girls in our community. When the girls start fighting and it starts getting out of hand, the fathers step in and we regulate. So that is a note for those of you who are somehow convinced by these stupid people who want to destroy your community that black fathers don't matter. Black fathers matter. Put that hashtag in the chat right now so we can all at least hopefully be on the same page that black fathers matter and black fathers matter as much as black mothers, and we must stand for that. With that said, let's talk about police shootings zone specifically. I'm going to talk to you why the media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, they just love police shootings. They love police shootings. Now, why do they love police shootings? Well, here's the cycle. I can predict the cycle. Cycle's very basic, very simple. Every couple of weeks, some black person somewhere, we have a nation of 350 million people, but somewhere somebody gets shot. Now, before all the facts come out, before we know why they got shot, before we know what happened, before we know who did what, it don't matter. It don't matter. People pick sides, right? People on the right, the Fox News types, they choose to defend the police no matter what. That's what got them in trouble, is they believe that police officers should be shielded with complete immunity for any ridiculous stuff that they've ever done. And I can tell you, as a son of a cop, cops break a lot of laws. And when you're not holding them accountable, you get what you have right now. The fact that you're getting this crazy reaction right now is driven by the fact that you've allowed police to live behind some sort of blue wall of protection, which is incredibly racist, unethical, and unfair. If you go read Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Black Labor, White Wealth, and also the Black History Reader, he explains to you how police started off with, I think they called them paddy patrols or paddy wagons or paddy rollers. That's what it was, paddy rollers, where they were basically the slave patrol. That was their job 200 years ago. That's still kind of their job right now, right? But then, you hear people that will jump and assume that anybody who gets shot by a cop must be an innocent victim and they always find some picture of the person like holding a little baby or looking like they're 10 years old or whatever. And there's no consideration of like maybe the fact that, there are police officers out here who have to run into some of the most dangerous people in the city. The people that y'all run away from, the cops got to run toward those people, right? So you're staying out of the hood. You try to stay away from the trap. They got to go into the trap and confront people in the trap who listen to music all day that tells them they should go murder as many people as possible. And some people take that stuff seriously. All of y'all in here know what I'm talking about. Stop pretending like you don't know somebody out here who would shoot somebody down at the drop of a hat. Somebody you would not want around your family. And a lot of y'all in here talking that the cops are all evil and cops are all bad. Cops deserve to go down. All y'all, the first ones calling the police when you got a problem. You get a problem with a neighbor, somebody threatening you to kill you, somebody breaking your house, you calling the police. So stop acting like police need to not exist anymore. That's just not true. That's stupid, right? So let's pick something a little more balanced. I believe in things like facts and logic, right? And I know that gets me in a lot of trouble because the world does not live on facts and logic. The world lives on emotion. People have emotional reaction to things and they get angry with you when you give them logic or facts that is not consistent with your feelings. So to those people who get upset whenever logic and facts is not consistent with their feelings, all I can say is fuck your feelings. That's probably going to piss you off even more. So that probably means you should either turn off this video or you should go and just get mad, go kick the TV or something. So let's talk about this. Now, here's the deal. When you're talking about these police shootings, the media loves police shootings for one main reason. Most media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, they are driven by one thing, and that is ratings, eyeballs. That's how they make their money. They make billions of dollars a year by getting as many people as possible to watch the screen. Well, the number one factor, according to most studies, is that the number one way to get people to turn on your TV and to watch your station is to scare the shit out of them. That's it. That's a fact. Look it up. Look it up. Don't get mad at me. Just go research. Go do some homework. Their studies show that media finds that if it bleeds, it leads. How many of you have ever heard that? Give me a yes or no if you've ever heard that statement. If it bleeds, it leads. Anybody, you know what that means? Give me a yes or no if you've heard it or if you know what it means. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I know y'all intelligent black people. I'm going to slow it down for the people in the back. If it bleeds, it leads means that when somebody dies, they love to have that as their lead story because they know that that is going to get people to watch. So you can join that statement. If it bleeds, it leads. And you can join that with the fact that studies have shown that scaring the shit out of people is the best way to get ratings on your news channel. You have the perfect storm. You have the perfect combination. Look, so-and-so, here's video footage that we're going to use to traumatize the hell out of you, scare your kids, have you scared to send your child to school thinking your child's going to get murdered by a cop that morning, right? No data, no statistics, nothing showing you that literally the odds of being killed by a cop are extremely, extremely low. We all know, we've all had bad interactions with cops. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we know about the disrespectful things that cops have done before, right? We know that this happens. But when you look at the raw data and you add up how many black men, go look it up right now, Google, how many black men are killed each year, unarmed black men killed by cops? It's like 50 or less, right? Now, again, that's 50 too many, right? There's other ways to deal with it, but that's not the number one thing killing black people. Black people being shot by cops has nothing on the number of black people that die from overdosing on fried chicken, right? That has nothing on the number of black people that die from diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, and obesity. The things that you celebrate death, but yet claim that you're fighting death at the same time. You say Black Lives Matter, but really Black lives don't matter to you, because if Black Lives Matter, you would go start at the list and you would say, like, what are the top 10 ways black people are dying? And you would start at the top of the list, but you don't do that. You sit around, you get mad because I said, that Lizzo should not be out letting white people pay her to promote obesity to a community that's dying from obesity, and then complaining like COVID comes around. COVID's like, okay, I'm gonna find all the fat people and kill them first. Right, so the virus goes around saying, "Let me find all the people that have pre-existing conditions." A checklist. It's like a Negro checklist, right? I'm gonna find all the people that are obese. We're gonna take them out. Then I'm gonna find the people that have high blood pressure. We're gonna take them out, right? But yet at the same time, you're celebrating the things that are killing you, and then you get mad at the people who step up and say, "Let's think this through. Maybe this isn't the best approach." So here's what I'm saying to you: the media loves to see police shootings because they know that they can put a police shooting on repeat, on rotate, constantly play it, traumatize you over and over and over again. And they know that because you are so traumatized, you will be in fear. And when you are in fear, they have you eating out of their hands. They have you sitting there listening to Rachel Maddow like she is white Jesus. COVID got y'all sitting here letting Dr. Fauci become your daddy. He's like, "Yo, daddy, well, I can't go outside today and see my woman because Dr. Fauci said I can't. He told me that I got to wear 8 masks today, and I can't. That if I look at the TV, I could catch it from the TV, right?" Seriously, these people, and then they come out and they keep constantly changing the rules. They keep constantly telling you new things that they didn't even know before. Like, oh, well, the MIT study just came out this week saying that even if you're 6 feet or 60 feet away from somebody, if you're in the same room, then you're still going to catch it, right? So they don't know what the hell's going on, but they got you stuck in fear. They keep you in fear because fear sells. Fear keeps eyeballs on the TV screen. So I will tell you this. I was speaking to in Atlanta, I was speaking to a young brother I like a lot. He's a smart guy. His name's D1. He's a rapper, and I think you should check his music out because he's one of the greatest black men in this country. And one of the things I told D, we were talking about investing. We get together, we don't talk about just music and stuff. Like anybody can go out and make music. We got 1 million black people that want to make music. We talk about business. We talk about investing, like how black man can build wealth and actually have, build a strong family and take care of his woman and have some pride in this world instead of sitting on his knees trying to tickle a white man's balls to get an opportunity. And I told D, I said, man, when you talk about investing or you really live in life, you never want to make your decisions out of greed or fear. I say greed and fear are the 2 emotions that tend to get you in the most trouble. Like with investing, if you invest with greed, then you're going to always be chasing the dollar, and the money will become the ruler over everything. Or if you live in fear, then you're constantly going to be running away from scary stuff, and you're not going to be able to live your best life. People that live in fear cannot live their best life. It's not possible because you're too busy spending your time trying not to live your worst life. Everybody got you scared of shit that ain't never going to happen. And a lot of our people live in fear. So because we live in fear, and because fear sells, and because we're easily triggered, then that's what media does. Media says, okay, how do we trigger some black people this week? So they will sit hypnotized in front of the TV and will consistently take in whatever information we're giving them while we tell them how they're going to die if they walk out on their front porch. Whether it's a virus, next week it'll be another police shooting. I guarantee you there'll be another one. They're going to find another shooting somewhere. It's 350 million people. There's always like you're going to find somebody that died because they stuck a heroin needle up their ass. Like you can find that any given day because you have 350 million people in this country. This is a big nation. A lot of things are happening. So they can take one story, and here's what happens. And only intelligent people are really going to understand what I'm saying. But bear with me. I'm not going to talk down to you. One bias that they found with media is that what media can do is that because they remind you of the scary things happening in your city, they can get you to the point where you overestimate the probability that that terrible thing is going to happen to you. It's like, I live in Chicago. Every single day, there's like a bunch of shootings in Chicago. It's like 10 or 15 shootings every day. And these are not like far away. Like my place in Chicago, I was right near Barack Obama, actually, in Southside Chicago. So these people will be getting killed 2 blocks, 4 blocks, 5 blocks from my house. So if I'm watching the media every day and I'm hearing about all the black people getting killed every day in Chicago, I would be scared to come out of my house. I would literally think that going outside and going for a walk means I'm going to die that day. I know people from other countries who are afraid to come to Chicago because they said, oh my God, there's so much killing there. Everybody's getting killed in Chicago. I'm like, no, everybody ain't getting killed. I go out every day and I do stuff all day long, all the time. And there's white people walking their dogs and all kinds of stuff happening, church gatherings, and ain't nobody getting shot like that. I mean, it's happening. It's happening. It's real. But it's not happening on some mass scale where it's happening to everybody. And sometimes I think they do that with the police shootings when they get you so scared thinking that just because your son went out to his friend's birthday party, he might die that day, or because he talked to a cop, he's going to be dead. And I just think that that's disingenuous. I think that's a motherfucking lie. I just do. It doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't mean police should be defended under any circumstances. It doesn't mean I'm saying that this stuff doesn't happen. It just means that, sometimes taking into context can matter. I mean, really taking it into context can make a difference. So the media loves police shootings because the police shootings get ratings. Joe Biden loves police shootings because police shootings keep you distracted. Here's the beauty. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. I know I'm gonna make a lot of people mad, so a lot of people probably gonna leave. But those of you who get what I'm saying, please take one moment, hit the thumbs up button so that we can build this platform, because we need some truth out here, man. People are just talking out of the side of their butt, and it's driving me crazy. So Joe Biden, here's the genius of Joe Biden in his management of Negroes. Joe Biden's genius in all of this is this. Joe Biden can make a police state or make a public statement about each police shooting after media has spent 2 weeks distracting you, getting you focused solely on one situation and one person's life, right? Not thinking about the thousands of people getting raped in prison, thousands of little girls getting molested every day, the black people dying left and right in the hood. Forget all that. You're trained not to believe all that. And you're trained to also believe falsely that anybody who brings that up is trying to shift away from the narrative, or they're a Trump supporter, or whatever bullshit lies that you're taught to believe. Like, I just know that your bullshit has no power in here. It just doesn't. It's all stupid. I know stupid statements when I hear them. It's stupid for you to think that because somebody cares about black children dying in the hood, that somehow that means they don't care about police shootings. No, you talk about police shootings because you've been sanctioned and allowed to talk about it by white media, because you are a white supremacist. You only talk about things that they give you permission to talk about. So here's the deal. Joe Biden's genius in his management of the black community is very basic. What Joe Biden loves is, he says, look, if I can get them constantly in fear, constantly backpedaling, constantly traumatized, then I can do to them exactly what I did to get elected. He said they got elected not by giving black people anything relevant, not by committing to anything. They're like, these people are black. We don't have to commit to anything. They're stupid. Half the voters are stupid or sheep. I'm not going to call it stupid. How about sheepish? So they will, not only do we not have to do anything for them, but they will pressure each other into not asking for anything, because we've got them so afraid of a Trump presidency that if Trump is reelected, they're all going to die. They're going to think that they're going to go back into slavery, and a police officer is going to show up at their house and kill everybody. And so we're protecting them from Trump. Well, guess what? Black Lives Matter, this is what's really funny. Black Lives Matter actually released a statement recently where they actually said that Joe Biden is actually putting more money into the weaponization of police, I think, or whatever term, the militarization of police, than Trump did. Did y'all know that? Give me a yes or no if you saw that. Give me a yes or no if you saw this. This was on Black Lives Matter's Twitter account, where they actually came out. Now, this is Black Lives Matter, the ones who were telling you that Biden was your savior, he's going to save you, which I knew that was BS. And the reason I knew it was because, and I'm not telling you that Trump is better. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And some of y'all act like the rock is a wonderful thing because it's different from the hard place. Well, no, it's like, no, you need to get out of that place. Like, you need to get out of that. You're stuck in a situation where, like, E40 had that song, Everybody Got Choices. Well, your only choice is to get out of the choice matrix that they put you in. They got you choosing between a rock and a hard place. So the only choice you should make is to say, I'm not making a choice at all. That's the only choice you have. So listen to this. So Joe Biden is fascinating to me. And the reason I knew Joe Biden wasn't going to solve your police problem is because Joe Biden created the damn police problem. Do y'all understand? Give me a yes or no if you are aware that in the 1994 crime bill, Joe Biden spent the entire year working to put $10 billion into building additional prisons to lock up as many people as possible. The super predators, the people with single mothers from urban areas. You know that those dog whistle terms that white folks use to describe your black ass. Like, how many of y'all knew this? Give me a yes or no if you knew that he put $10 billion into building new prisons to lock up your children. And many of these people are still in prison, by the way. They haven't been released because you're too busy worried about one person who got shot by the cops that you're not taking the time to say you need to go back and address the damage that you did. You need to go let those people out. How many of y'all knew, give me a yes or no if you knew this, how many of y'all knew that all these cops that you're complaining about, that all these cops, these murderous, race soldiers that are killing, how many of y'all knew that 100,000 of those cops were put on the street by the Joe Biden crime bill? Joe Biden put 100,000 of those cops on the street. That's a lot of cops. A lot of money that could have been spent on education, could have been spent on reparations, could have been spent on all kinds of stuff, could have been spent on giving black businesses business loans so you can take care of your family so your kids ain't got to be out in the streets all night. Like, a lot of that money was spent putting 100,000 cops on the street. So here's what Joe Biden is like that pest control exterminator, that roach exterminator who says, pay me $1,000 and I'll clean the roaches out of your house. And then you find out that he put the roaches in the house in the first place. He created a problem so you would pay him to solve it. Do you understand what I am saying to you? That you are stuck in a loop. It is a loop that is going to trap every thoughtless person that is in it. You are stuck in the matrix. You are going to constantly be on a treadmill. And whenever these shootings happen, the same thing occurs. The shooting happens and then CNN covers it. People either jump to the right or jump to the left. Some people jump to defending the cop. Other people jump to saying that, oh, Pookie, no matter, even if Pookie had a gun or a knife or was trying to kill somebody, he was a good person. He was a wonderful, sweet little child. And ain't nobody giving no nuance to it. It's either Pookie's either a villain or he's an angel. And I'm sorry, people that know the real world know that that's just not true. And then the media starts covering it incessantly, and your eyes are glued to the TV, and you start crying for Pookie. And then the civil rights superstars start popping in. Next thing you know, Al Sharpton's on the scene. Then you got Tamika Mallory on the scene. Black Lives Matter on the scene. Half of them are white, right? But Black Lives Matter's on the scene, and Ben Crump showing up doing press conferences so he can get a big payout. And then next thing you know, Crump gets the payout. Justice is served. Blah blah blah. Ain't a damn thing changed. And then you did just get a conviction of that cop in Minneapolis, which that's progress. Absolutely. Okay. He murdered somebody. He's going to jail. That's a good thing. But it's utterly fascinating to me how some people think that simply releasing all this emotional energy is the same as actually accomplishing anything. And I can guarantee you, I would bet every penny in my bank account that you're going to be having the same loop occurring 10 years from today. That 10 years from today, you will still have the same loop. The shooting occurs, media covers it 24 hours around the clock. The civil rights superstars are on the scene so they can get on the Grammy Awards and do Cadillac commercials. And Black Lives Matter is there so they can collect more money from white corporations on behalf of black people without that money actually getting to the black community. But somehow the founder ends up in a $3-4 million house. And shame on Mark Lamont Hill for trying to defend Patrisse Cullors and that bullshit. She's sitting on $100 million and ends up buying all these multi-million-dollar properties. And like, well, she didn't actually use money from the organization to buy the house. Do you really think, how many of you, give me a yes or no, we're all financially intelligent on this platform. That's why many of you are here. How many of you truly believe that if she was not the head of one of the most powerful civil rights organizations on earth, she still could have been out here buying multi-million-dollar properties? How many of y'all would be crazy enough to think that being the head of an organization that gives you access to heads of corporations would make a difference in your financial outcomes? How many of y'all really believe that being able to pick up the phone and talk to the president of the Grammys and reach people, the CEO of Apple and all these major corporations that literally they'll shit out $1 million like it ain't nothing? How many of y'all believe that having that kind of power and access is not going to have an impact on your bank account? If you are in the category where you think that being the head of the most powerful civil rights organization, or one of the most powerful civil rights organizations in the world, would not affect your economic outcomes, you are out of your damn mind. That lady could make millions of dollars even if she doesn't use a single penny from Black Lives Matter, because after the Black Lives Matter money is put to the side, they say, hey, Patrice, we'd like to have you on our board. We'll pay you $250,000 a year to sit on the board. This has nothing to do with the organization. So this is all only up and up. But how do you even make those connections in the first place? Well, you make those connections because you are one of the Negro gatekeepers. That's the position that you've elevated yourself to. And so I think that it's ridiculous. It really shows a lack of economic intelligence to think that someone that has that level of power can't translate that power into money and do it in a way that at least gives the appearance that there's a separation of church and state, that there's some sort of Chinese wall between the influence that she has with Black Lives Matter and the fact that she's able to buy $3, $4, $5 million property. That's just my 2 cents. So what I want to say to you guys is this: look, when you're talking about this stuff with police shootings, Joseph Stalin used to have a saying. Joseph Stalin was he was either a great man or a terrible man, depending on how you look at it. I see him as just a powerful leader. Joseph Stalin was the leader of the Soviet Union a little less than 100 years ago, maybe 70, 80 years ago, during World War II. Joseph Stalin used to have a saying. Joseph Stalin was accused of some horrible stuff. He probably is responsible for the deaths of 15, 20 million Russians. You know what Joseph Stalin said? He said, one death, he said, that's a tragedy. That's gonna make people sad. It's gonna pull their heartstrings, etc. He said, but 1 million deaths is a statistic. It's just a statistic. You tell people 1 million people died, it's just a stat on a piece of paper. But when one person dies and you tell their story and talk about their kids and all that stuff, then you're gonna act somehow you're gonna feel that the death of that one person matters more than the death of the 1 million people that you don't know about. Well, that's the game that they're playing with you. They're playing that Joseph Stalin game with you because you are caught up in the story of one situation, one shooting. You're crying at the funeral. You're so sad for the person's death. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you shouldn't be sad for that. But what's interesting to me is remember that your emotions can't be split in multiple ways. So what happens is that when the media is telling you that story about that one person, you're missing the bigger picture. You're so focused on that one person's story that you don't understand that there's 1,000 Black people being raped and beaten in prison right now. There are 1,000 children in the hood that got shot up that week because you're so busy crying for one person. And some of these people that you might be crying for may not even be the kinds of people that you would even want in your life. So I'm just telling you that this is not really for the masses. The masses are not going to understand what I'm saying. They're kind of trained to be triggered and to be emotional and to be upset because the facts don't match their feelings, and I get that. What I'm really talking to are the people that have the ability, the capacity to at least hear what I am saying and to assume that I am saying these things because I care, not because I'm just trying to be a bastard. And to also understand, this is why you don't hear me really dwelling all day about the specifics of one person's interaction with the police, because here's the deal with racism. Let me tell you a little bit about racism. Powernomics breaks all this down for you. Racism is a system, man. Racism is a system. Systems are very different from what they call idiosyncrasies. A system is a machine. It's broad. You know, when you win a war, when America won World War II, they didn't win World War II with one super soldier. They won World War II because they had systems of mass production of bullets and guns and ships and tanks and soldiers. And they wouldn't send one really great soldier. They would send 1 million soldiers, 500,000 soldiers, 200,000, 300,000 soldiers will attack the beach on Normandy. That's how you win a war. Racism that you're confronted against is a system. So you cannot you cannot defeat a system by attacking things on a case-by-case basis. You cannot win a system by confronting one police shooting at a time. Joe Biden tackled your ass with mass incarceration with a systematic approach. He said, we can't just go lock up one Black person at a time or take on one situation at a time. He said, no, we need $10 billion to build 500 prisons or whatever the number was, and to get 100,000 cops on the street. We need systems so we can mass exterminate these people, so we can do mass genocide, mass control over these people. So the only way you can fight a system is you must have a systematic reaction. You must respond with a system to fight a system. So when you talk about the idiosyncrasies of one specific police shooting that involved one person and one cop, I don't really care about one specific situation. I want to see what's happening with the system. The best things happening in your community right now, systematically, is that right now, we, through this platform and other platforms like it, have systematically gotten millions and millions of Black people to value things like building wealth. That's going to add a couple $1 trillion to Black wealth within one generation. We have systematically got millions of Black fathers out here taking pride in becoming dads. People with millions of Instagram followers are promoting fatherhood and family and Black love and loving Black women and doing all these other things. That's systematic. That's going to have an impact. We have systematically got to the point where there are millions of Black women all across the country. You probably know some who are starting businesses and doing things different from the previous generation. Yeah, so what I'm saying to you is that the best chance you have to win this battle is through the systematic responses that you put in place. This one-off, we're going to call Ben Crump and he's going to settle one case and get one check for $12 million for one family. That ain't going to do shit. All that is, at best, that is symbolism. At best, now symbolism can have some systematic impact, but you must follow through. You can't just dribble the ball down the court. You got to eventually put the ball through the hoop. They do not put the ball through the hoop. Why is it? Well, because I don't really think they want to solve the problem. I really don't believe your civil rights superstars have much of an incentive to truly solve the problem, no differently from the way the health profession has very little incentive to actually cure a disease, because when they cure the disease, they're out of business. They're not there to cure, to make you healthy, or to engage in the proactive medication necessary to ensure that you have a healthy enough lifestyle that you're never going to get sick. That's why they don't talk about it. That's why in the whole conversation about the virus, everybody was talking about, well, go get this shot. There's no discussion about dealing with obesity and heart disease and all the pre-existing conditions that's killing people. It's like, no, just get this shot. You got fried chicken in one hand. Well, you eating the fried chicken while they putting the shot in your arm and you think you're safe. No, those people don't care about you, because if they cared about you, they would slap that chicken out of your fat ass hand and tell you, stop eating like a goddamn pig and learn how to be healthy so that you can actually live. That's what people do when they actually care about you. I came from a space of tough love, and I'm going to tell you what, sometimes the best things my parents did for me was hurt my feelings and tell me that what I was doing was stupid. So at the end of the day, if Black life really matters to you, we don't use the term Black Lives Matter here. We use a different hashtag, Black Life Matters. Black Life Matters. That's the hashtag we use here. Put it in the chat. If Black life matters to you, then you're going to solve the problem by any means necessary. You're not looking just to be triggered and to be emotional. You're actually trying to fix things. You're not looking to just mourn over one police shooting after another. You're looking for the systematic solution to a vast political system and a criminal justice system that is destroying the lives of Black families everywhere. You're not just sitting here glued to the TV, letting them traumatize you repeatedly. You are actually engaged in the proactive behavior that leads to the development of a community that is strong enough to withstand these kinds of persistent attacks and manipulations that are designed by our oppressors to keep us encaged. Those are the people that I want to talk to, because these are the people that represent the future of the community. Everybody else, unfortunately, is going to be stuck in a loop. And that loop is one where there are people that profit from your pain, people that profit from your trauma, and they love to trigger you repeatedly because it's excellent entertainment for their TV sets. And it's a great way for them to make money. It's a great way for them to get votes. That's what they love to do to you. So anyway, I'm going to go, and I want to mention to you guys something real quick. You guys know, again, because we're solution oriented, we like to support Black filmmakers. And this week, there's this film. It was executive produced by Shaquille O'Neal, and it's called Steps. And it's about therapy and redemption. And believe me, a whole lot of Black folks, I'm telling y'all, let me just say it, like I'm marrying a therapist, a beautiful Black woman who happens to be an expert in therapy. And she has coached me and influenced me. You hear that, babe? I'm saying it out loud so you'll hear it, because she thinks I don't hear what she says. And she has influenced me to understand that therapy is important and valuable. And so we're showing a movie called Steps. We're showing it in Black Movie Night. That's where we celebrate Black filmmakers. It's totally free, sponsored by the Black Business School. And you can go register right now to see the movie with us on the 29th of April, next Thursday at 8 p.m. at blackmovienight.net. So go to blackmovienight.net, register and you can watch the film with us. And afterward, we're going to talk to the director. We're going to talk to some of the actors in the film, etc. And like I said, Shaquille O'Neal's an executive producer. And I believe Eddie Harris, I believe that's the name of the director. I got to make sure I get the name in front of me. So I hope you'll join us. And again, sometimes I know my language is harsh. Sometimes I know I'm very direct. But I'm hopeful that there are enough people that can appreciate honesty, because we live in a world where we don't have time to continue to beat around the bush and get the wrong solutions. Most of the people that are deliberately selected to allegedly solve Black problems absolutely are completely unqualified to solve those problems. That's why Joe Biden ran away when Ice Cube had a team of scholars behind him requesting a meeting, and instead he went and did an interview with Cardi B. Why would you go talking to Cardi B, a lady who admits to raping and stealing from men or whatever she was doing when she was drugging men and having them raped by trannies, right? So this criminal who has done if things as bad as what Bill Cosby did, you'd rather sit with her to talk about what's going on in the Black community, but you're ignoring scholars and intellectuals in the community that actually know what the solutions are. Well, the reason they do that is because that's how white supremacy works. If you are dumb enough to accept the dumbass solution to your problem, then you're just going to be sitting there like a dumbass forever. They're going to play you like a dumbass. So at some point, we have to take accountability and say, what are we going to accept? What is our standard? How long are we going to allow people to just play us like that? Even when Barack Obama was in office, I was floored by the fact that they were claiming to solve the Black economic problems, but they never brought actual Black economic leaders into the White House. Dr. Claude Anderson lived just a few blocks away from the White House. They never invited him in once, but they had Al Sharpton to come to the White House 120 times. That's because they want people around who are yes men. They want people around who are simply going to carry water for whatever they want. They want white supremacists around who are disguised as Black leaders. These people are not Black leaders. They are Negro managers. And if they want to prove me wrong, fine. Go solve a problem. Go create $10 billion in wealth for the Black community in the next year. Use your corporate connections to get Black business owners in the hood to get access to capital with no strings attached at a level that makes a significant difference in their business. Then I'll believe you. But until then, you're just running your mouth on TV and don't nobody respect you no more. And that's why you represent the past. So those who represent the future, those who want something different, I encourage you to do different. And don't be scared, because this is all a stupid game. All right. So anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here. I hope I didn't sound too pessimistic, but I probably did. So I'll be back a little bit later. We'll talk about stocks and everything else. And a little bit later on the Black Financial Channel, but that was on my mind, so I wanted to share it. So God bless you. Have a good day, and I'll see you on Black Movie Night. The URL's right there on the screen. Hit the thumbs up button. Take 1 second. Please hit that thumbs up button also. We really appreciate that. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.